Good morning, I am Adam Harris, and this is The Day Ahead. Don't forget to click subscribe below to receive daily market analysis videos and important alerts. On the economic calendar for today, we have EU GDP data out at 9:30 a.m. and US retail sales data out at 1:30 p.m. Currencies show the euro-US dollar continues to test the edge of its support level, and in the comms we have metals going sideways, but oil starting to climb higher. Now in the global indices and equities, we continue to see some good uptrends in place with entries on lower than daily timeframes. You can jump to any chapter by clicking on the time link in the description below. So starting off with the currencies first, look at the US dollar index. So yesterday, my expectation was to see this potentially head a little bit lower into this level of support and resistance back into the moving averages before deciding what it wanted to do. However, it did a bit of a 180, so it was looking bearish in the morning, and then by midday started to turn around and head up and connect with 97 again, and now starting to reject that a little bit. So, but it's definitely keen on deciding what it wants to do at that 97 level. And euro dollar being the same, this one heading all the way back down by the end of the day yesterday, back down to 1.125 level, and now currently rising. So there's a little bit of bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame, but there's just not enough clarity. There's no real trading opportunities at the moment, and there is of course a possibility ultimately that that dollar index is going to break higher, which will push the euro lower. So really this is one of those sit on my hands and wait and see how this unfolds. But looking at cable as well, dollar yen also looking as though there's very much a stronger US dollar on the horizon, but cable also looking the strong bearish rejection candle right below that level of now resistance, indicating a stronger US dollar and a weaker GBP throughout the day. So it is going to be, it's implying that that dollar is going to head through that 97 level, but we need to see how that happens. EuroCAD continuing to head on into more profits in terms of that trading opportunity and that trend maintaining itself. Momentum indicators look relatively healthy and happy, so that's a good thing. Aussie CAD, so Aussie CAD still stuck within this range. Nothing really happening here. It will really only catch my interest again once it breaks below this level of support or breaks outside of this level of resistance and then decides what it wants to do after that. And CAD's obviously very much the same as EuroCAD, continuing on from this trade setup where it found support. We looked through a break of resistance and a test of support, and that continuing to head higher. So that one heading back up into profit again. So that's looking nice and unfolding as per our trading plan. Then on to the commodities on the move, looking at gold. So gold here producing a lower high and a very bearish candle yesterday. So collectively, this implication being that gold would really prefer to head lower. And so I think once it hits 12.95, it'll be able to reassess that. So there's no real change in this just yet, other than the fact that it's simply not following through. No real price action or trading opportunities presenting themselves. Now, silver, I'm looking at this on the monthly time frame. So monthly, it's come back up into a historical level of support here. You can see it where it had rejected that level for a while, broken through it. It's come back, and it's currently producing a bearish candle also within the 10 and 20 moving averages, which is, you know, historically as well, the 50, 20 and 10 in a bearish formation. This is now currently unfolding. We're midway through February exactly today, and it's currently producing a bearish setup, continuation setup. So if we do finish with a bearish candle here and we break the low that next month, that actually means ultimately that there's a high probability silver will actually head lower. So what I'm going to be watching on the monthly, while gold is also deciding what it wants to do, is what is silver going to do if silver heads a little bit higher. If we do finish by the end of the month nice and bullishly, we're back over this level, then the picture changes. But I'm just highlighting that currently it's forming a longer term bearish outlook, which also supports a stronger US dollar. So just adding that into the mix. Palladium continuing to trend higher, so this being the winner at the moment in terms of just having a set direction and sticking to its consistent behavior. So that's quite nice over there. We've then got crude oil, which is now looking bullish. So this had produced that bearish candle last week. That's the weekly setup, and actually now having broken the low but now reversing and wanting to look, it's now looking more bullish, wants to hit higher. And looking at Brent's actually very beautiful, and I missed this, unfortunately. This is a nice little bullish breakout pattern, very nice. It's broken out through that level. So what I'm looking for here are any pullbacks onto this level to test it for support, and then I'll be looking for entries to get to go long if price tests this level for support. So that's looking good, and almost certainly going to head up to, let's call it 1850 very soon in the near future, between this week and next week. So that looks very nice and bullish there. And now into the global indices, and very much just continuing according to plan. And good news is hit all our one-to-one targets so far from Monday's entries, from Friday's setups, bullish candle setups last week. So all are now nicely at break even or in additional profit. They're looking very nice. I like the look of on the 4-hourly. A lot of these the same, or producing potential long re-entry opportunities. I can scale into my positions here. So this is the S&P 500 on the 4-hour time frame. Nice little bullish candle, just about to break the high of that. So I'll be looking at that once I finish this and uploaded it to all of you this morning. I'll be having a look at that. And so I like the look of that. And actually, it's the same with the US Tech 100, UK 100 also continuing to break new highs, and Germany even now joining the table. Hong Kong again, Hang Seng also on the 4-hourly continuing to climb, looking really nice. Look at this stable and steady behavior. Momentum indicators producing fresh highs, price producing fresh highs, very nice and happy and healthy. Also a nice little bullish candle that I'm potentially looking at on the break of the high of that. And also finishing then on the daily on Australia here, it's now just struggling to get through its level of resistance at 6100. I'm anticipating at some point in the future it'll break out, but for the moment just waiting on it to build up and decide what it wants to do with this level. But it makes more sense that if everything else is heading up, this will end up breaking out of that level, but no trading opportunities setting up at this time. So lastly for today, looking at the equities in focus, and just starting off with Amazon here. These are the ones that are of interest to me today. Amazon potentially producing that swing low, which then implies once it breaks past this level of resistance that we will then have a confirmed uptrend on the weekly, and Amazon will start to trend back upwards, and obviously supporting the more bullish longer term look. Netflix, just discussing this yesterday, I was saying it's right at that level, and I need to see it kind of move past that level before it moves on. So nothing there yet. It's still overall just a little bit of bearish divergence. See how this is kind of flat but heading downwards slightly, whereas this is, we've got fresh highs on price. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that. I needed to get over that line to be convinced that it's actually ultimately going to be successful and able to continue on higher. Microsoft as well, same thing again. It hasn't yet managed to break through this level of resistance. It's still a bullish pattern. It looks really good. This is actually climbing, so this all looks really nice, just showing yesterday's candle. So this, my expectation is for that ultimately to head higher, and price action is supporting that. It just hasn't managed to do it just yet, not as of yesterday anyway. And Boston Scientific, this one I'm now waiting on a retracement. I would love to see price coming back to test this level in this area. So I've highlighted an area where I will be looking for retracements back down to either Fibonacci levels or to test resistance and support. But this is a really good area, looking for a buy opportunity on Boston Scientific. And the last one on my list for today is BP. And BP, these all looking, a lot of the other charts just looking kind of sideways, not showing much clarity here, but BP sitting up with a bullish buy signal. So I'm quite interested in this. I may look at a break above the high of this candle and looking to go long above this, potentially putting my stop loss below this, simply because we can get gaps on this. I'll be looking to widen my stop loss and put it below the most recent level of support for additional stop loss protection. Changes my risk reward, but then I might hold that position for a lot longer. We'll see. So I'll make that decision later. I might split up my risk between this 0.5% with a stop loss below the candle and the other 0.5% with the stop loss below that. So we'll see how that goes ultimately. And on that note, ladies and gents, I want to wish you a fantastic day. I will chat to you tomorrow, and if it's trending, I'll be there.
Just a reminder to hit the subscribe button. If you want to stay abreast of what's happening in the market, I'll be producing and bringing you the latest in the markets every morning in a freshly produced video.